Wow, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network, here with this breaking news. Now, after 6 years, the Fed is ending its government stimulus program, QE3. This $4.5 trillion stimulus package. Did it actually work?
Oh, I don't know. I'm independently wealthy myself, but I always thought that throwing masses of money at the poor people really had no effect at all, in my opinion. What do you think, Ivy?
Like I really care. If it kills all the people, more room for the plants.
Oh, that's a good point.
Now, what will this mean for the real estate market and the economy at whole?
Ooh, that means I can expand the Iceberg Lounge at bargain prices. Yes, excellent. Excellent. I can pave the entire neighborhood and make a parking lot. That would be fantastic.
Oh, darling, more room for the plants. You know that's all I care about.
Oh, that's right.
Now, the Fed is expected to raise interest rates the middle of next year. What do you think this will mean?
Well, I do have several excellent loans that I'm waiting for people to pay off. So if I raise the interest rates, I guess I'm interested in getting more money back for my investment, yes?
Please, bore someone else with these things.
Oh,
Now,
non-political.
Now, early next year, Europe will just be starting their stimulus program. Now, what will this...
Oh dear.
So sorry.
I'll have him killed later.
Now, early next year, Europe will just be starting their stimulus program. What will this mean for the global economy and whole?
Well, global economy, that means that, oh dear, that means that the American dollar will not be as strong. But that's all right. I'll just expand into the European market.
Can we go now, darling?
Oh, yes, all right. Very good.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Don't forget to vote next Tuesday.
Take care of the planet. Room for plants.
Oh.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network saying, I'll be taxing you! This is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network, out with this news this week. Now, after 6 years, the Fed is cutting its government stimulus program. Now, did this QE3 $4.5 billion stimulus package actually work?
You know, I'm not actually a fan of the stimulus program to begin with. I think with a free market economy, people should stand on their own, and I actually am very glad to see the stimulus program end.
Now, what will this mean for real estate prices and the economy as a whole?
You know, who knows? I mean, the real estate... Hey, how's it going? Brianna Tarth. Glad to meet you.
Nice costume.
Than't you very much.
Don't have a helmet?
No. Thanks. All right, take care. I think he needs some stimulus. Maybe he has too much stimulus. What do you think?
Now, what will this mean for the real estate market and the economy as a whole?
You know what? I don't think you can really tie the stimulus packet with the real estate and the economy, because that's what started a lot of our problems to begin with, is the real estate programs, the overinflated loans, and people not being able to pay their mortgages and be responsible to begin with. I mean, that kind of caused all these problems to begin with. So I'm actually glad, as I said, to see everything go, and maybe people will be supporting themselves from here on out.
Now, the Fed is expected to raise interest rates the middle of next year. What do you think about that?
You know, you raise the rates and your housing prices go down. I mean, so, because you have to be able to either, you know, afford the mortgage or afford the house.
Now, early next year, Europe will be starting their stimulus program. Now, what do you think this will mean for the global economy as a whole?
You really think Europe can afford to support anybody? Honestly, I mean, that you've got Germany who's supporting Greece. You have all these. I mean, I don't buy it for an instant.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
No.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network saying, I'll be taxing you! This is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network, out with this breaking news. Now, after 6 years, the Fed is cutting their government stimulus program, QE3. Now, did this $4.5 billion... Shit, it's trillion. Now, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network with this breaking news. Now, after 6 years, the Fed is ending their government stimulus program, QE3. Now, did this $4.5 trillion stimulus program actually work?
As far as I can tell, I have no idea.
Now, what do you think this will mean for real estate prices and the economy as a whole?
I think prices will go up and houses will be more expensive.
Now, the Fed is expected to raise interest rates the middle of next year. Now, what do you think about that?
I hate interest, so I'd hate to see it go up.
Now, early next year, Europe is just now going to be starting their stimulus program. What do you think this will do for the global economy as a whole?
It's going down the shitter, so I have no idea if any kind of stimulus package is going to be what we need.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
You better hope that you're insured when I come and rob your bank.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network saying, I'm taxing you. This is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network coming out with this breaking news that after 6 years, the government stimulus program from the Fed is ending. Now, QE3, this $4.5 trillion stimulus program, did it actually work?
It had as much of effect as it was going to be able to have given its limited scope. People don't remember that the first third of the stimulus package was tax cuts to the middle class. And so in order to be able to get an anemic economy started, you got to get money to the middle class and the working class in order to be able to spend money within their communities. So I think it could have went farther had there not been obstructionism in Congress in order to be able to make those dollars actually work the way they needed to.
Okay, this is... Now, what will this mean to real estate and the economy as a whole?
The economy is still sluggish in its response, and so ending it probably will just keep it in a more stalled state until the private sector can pick it up. In terms of real estate, we've already seen an upswing. We just need to make sure that that swing doesn't turn into a bubble like it did before, to keep housing prices stable so we don't end up in the same place we were before this happened.
Now, the Fed is expected to raise interest rates the middle of next year. What do you think this will do?
I think what they're trying to do is making sure we're going to control for inflation. Since they have been a steady, low, stable rate, we need to make sure that it doesn't end up unbalancing the economy so that there isn't just money out there as opposed to being money that actually has a meaningful value behind it.
Now, early next year, Europe is just now going to start their stimulus program. What do you think this will mean for the global economy in a whole?
Well, I'm hoping it will have an impact. I wish Europe would have done theirs a little bit sooner.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
We're real guys cosplay and we're awesome.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network saying, I'm taxing you.